Do any of these sound like you? You spend way too much time cleaning or organizing your space. You don't feel relaxed in your home or in your bedroom. Your home or bedroom doesn't reflect who you are. And you own too many things that you don't love or things that aren't exactly useful to you. If any of that sounds like you, keep watching. So today we're going to talk about curating your space, whether that's your whole home or it's just a bedroom, the same rules apply. And I just wanted to make a quick note that this is part of the Minimalism series, but you might notice the last few uploads of the Minimalism series haven't had the pink little Minimalism series thumbnail. Let me know if you still knew it was part of the series or what have you. I just wanted to experiment and try something slightly different. So when it comes to curating your space, it doesn't have to be like an art gallery, and it shouldn't feel like you've stepped into a magazine. It needs to feel like it's livable enough for you. So whether that does mean that you like your space to be really stark, white, crisp, and very, very empty, or whether you want it to feel more homey and have little touches that are more personal to you. I'm not here to tell you how to pick what style suits you best. I'm just here to share with you what method I like to apply when it comes to my home and how to make everything match and feel seamless and just feel like my personality radiates through the space. The whole point of this is to feel more at home and relaxed in your own space. To have a home or a bedroom that you feel represents your style and what you're all about. And I feel one of the biggest benefits of curating your space is it will allow you to assess what is important to you and what is not important to you. So it'll stop extra items coming into the house and cluttering it up, things that you don't need to be buying and things that you don't need to be bringing in. Let's start with a list of 2 to 3 styles that we want to use to describe our home or our bedroom. You can screenshot this list or you can write your own. Now, for inspiration for this section, you can turn to page 44 in my book Less, where I've put together examples of color palettes that you could use throughout your home. Or another thing that you can do is open up either a notebook or Photoshop or something like that, and you can construct your own color themes. I'd recommend putting together a theme which has 1 to 2 major colors and then a few minor colors or textures that you can work with throughout your home. So it doesn't just have to be set colors, and you might want to really restrict your color palette to say 2 to 3 colors, or maybe you love having a multitude, so you want to include 2 or 3 main colors, and then you want to have a few different accent colors as well as some different textures. So some textures could be things like jute or wood or concrete, or perhaps you want softer things like woven materials or knitted and crochet material. But I would definitely recommend jotting it down and planning it out so that you can put it out in a visual format out in front of you and see how things are going to work before you decorate an entire space that way. Okay, so now we want to open up the space just to see what we're working with, especially if you've been living there for a while. You've probably forgotten how large a room actually is, especially if it's cluttered with little knickknacks and lots of huge pieces of furniture. If you can, take all the items out of the room, take all the wall hangings off the wall. I know for some people that would be a more lengthy process, for others it might be quicker, but I do recommend, this is the same way I recommend decluttering, is by taking things out of a drawer completely and then putting back in only what you need. Same rule applies, but we're going to do this to a whole room. So for example, a living room, move out the couches, move out the armchairs, move everything out, take things off the wall if there is anything on the wall, and then what we're going to do is add back what we feel is useful or beautiful. So this is probably going to be the most tedious step, so that's taking everything out of the room, and then we're going to start fresh. I stole a few things off Rach that she's in the process of selling and just filled the bookshelf with them, rather than how I usually decorate, so you can see how much more cluttered and unstyled it looks. So you can see some of the colored pieces have ruined the color theme that we had going on, which visually, to me at least anyway, visually that's very, very distracting. And then also just some of the styles of the objects don't suit the general theme that I have going on in the house. For me, I would rather not own things or have them on display just for the sake of it. So now when it comes time to putting things back, you're going to focus on what's useful to you or what's beautiful to you. So you can display things either just on a table, in a shelf, and you can curate your items. Maybe you want just one item, or maybe you want a display rack. You could put together a wire grid or a DIY organizer. It's totally up to you. Buy slowly. If you need to furnish a whole house or a room or whatever, don't go and buy everything at once. I know you probably want to have the whole space like furnished and looking great, but I highly recommend purchasing things and a slower timeline. Now, reflecting back on the color palettes and the style that we want to work with, consider how this item is actually going to fit into the space. Does it have a texture which is seen somewhere else in your home? Does it have a color which is seen somewhere else? When you are looking for things, if possible, I know it's not always possible depending on budget and that sort of thing, but if you can, stay away from MDF and cheaper materials and look at investing into things which will last a longer time. I've made the mistake before of purchasing things which are made from MDF. I do have 2 furniture pieces which are made from MDF, and I know like eventually when they are worn down, I probably will replace them with something that is higher quality that I like a lot more. If you feel like you're a crafty or a handy person and you want something that is more bespoke and suits your space, you could look at either secondhand and getting someone else's piece of furniture that would suit your space as long as it is in good condition, or DIYing. So slow down before you make any purchases. Decide, is this something that you will get a lot of use out of? Is it something that you find beautiful and something that reflects your own personality and the space that you wish to create? And is it built so that it's sturdy enough to last? It's not going to break really easily and it's not going to fall apart. Consider any of your purchases. Check that they fit into the color palette and design that you put together earlier in this process. And before you do buy something, decide how often it will be used and if it is actually necessary in your space or if it's just taking up room that it doesn't have to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it so much if you could give it a thumbs up for me. And if you're new, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next upload. Bye!